Welcome to Global Homeless News, your window into gripping stories, unforgettable places, and hidden realities. Today, we're diving into something uncomfortable yet deeply human: the growing homeless crisis in Canada in the year 2025. This isn't your typical scenic travel video with pretty sunsets and tourist spots. Instead, we're uncovering the gritty truth hiding behind the charming facade of this historic city. Prepare yourself, because this journey is taking us somewhere dark and unexpected, straight into the heart of Richmond's homeless crisis. Today's story isn't about statistics. It's about real people, lost in the shadows of Richmond's inviting streets. And honestly, it breaks my heart to tell it. But why Richmond? Well, Canada is proud of its history, from Confederate capital to vibrant center of art, food, and creativity. It's a city that pulls people in. Yet by 2025, Richmond is also facing a troubling reality. Homelessness is surging, and it's impossible to ignore. Richmond matters because it's a small reflection of a huge national problem, mixing progress with pain, wealth with poverty. In 2025, Richmond's homeless population isn't just news. It's a topic weighing heavily on the hearts of residents. Today, we're diving into exactly why this crisis is exploding, how it looks on the ground, and what it means for a city known for its deep heritage. Now, brace yourself for some numbers. They paint a bleak picture. In January 2025, Homeward, the organization responsible for homelessness tracking in the greater Richmond area, conducted its annual count. The results? Absolutely shocking. Around 700 people found themselves homeless on a single freezing night, some in shelters, others sleeping rough on sidewalks, in parks, and under bridges. But here's the truly alarming part. The number of unsheltered people jumped almost 20% from a year before. This isn't just data, it's a distress call. Something is seriously wrong, and it's only March. Imagine how those numbers might look by winter. So what's behind this dramatic spike? It's not just one issue. It's an explosive combination. First up, Richmond's housing crisis. The city's population is growing fast as people flock here, hoping for an affordable alternative to expensive cities, but rapid growth comes at a cost. By 2025, a modest one-bedroom apartment downtown costs about $1,400 Canadian per month, if you're lucky enough to even find one. Meanwhile, low-income earners, think retail workers, restaurant servers, or gig drivers, are being pushed out, unable to afford skyrocketing rents. Canada's minimum wage of just $12.50 Canadian dollars per hour in 2025 barely covers expenses, especially when rent swallows more than half your paycheck. But that's not all. Throw in lingering job losses from the pandemic, rampant evictions, and a weakened safety net, plus a severe shortage of shelter beds, and suddenly it's clear why so many people are slipping through cracks. But what's daily life really like if you're unsheltered in Richmond, Canada, in 2025? Imagine waking up at 6 a.m., freezing cold on a park bench in Monroe Park, or perhaps tucked under a bridge near Kanawa Plaza. You're one of the roughly 200 people who had no shelter last night. Your first priority? Food. Maybe lining up at a pantry like Feed More, or hoping for sandwiches for volunteers at local churches. Your whole day becomes about survival, staying safe, avoiding trouble, protecting your meager possessions, and praying the weather holds. When night comes again, you frantically call the Homeless Connection line, desperately hoping for a rare spot in a shelter like Caris. This isn't just a bad day, it's everyday life for too many people in Richmond. It's a harsh reality most visitors never witness. But here's something even more shocking. The city's homeless population is aging fast. By 2025, Homeward's data shows 44% of Richmond's homeless individuals are over 55. That's nearly half of the homeless community, made up of older adults, seniors forced onto the streets. Why is this happening? Many older adults live on fixed incomes, like Social Security or tiny pensions, and simply can't afford rising rents. A single medical bill or rent increase can mean eviction and homelessness. Add health problems to the mix, and suddenly it's harder to work or bounce back from setbacks. Imagine being 62 years old, suddenly evicted after decades in your apartment, and now forced to sleep in a tent by the river. It's a heartbreaking crisis hidden within an already devastating issue, and Richmond is struggling under the weight of it. Now, we've just started digging into Richmond's heartbreaking story, and there's still plenty to uncover. If this journey has caught your attention, if you're shocked or moved, or maybe even angry, don't hesitate to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to Global Homeless News. Big heart alert! This little channel runs on passion and truth, and you are the fuel that keeps us moving forward. Every share, every like, and every thoughtful comment powers the next investigation and keeps hope alive. From secret wonders to harsh realities, we never back down from a story that matters, and your clicks let us keep traveling together. So thank you for being part of this mission. Now brace yourself for a system under stress. Richmond shelters are a vital lifeline, yet the safety net is fraying fast. The numbers do not lie, and the human cost is chilling. City officials open an emergency site at 1900 Chamberlain Avenue when the mercury sinks below 40, but even that stopgap cannot catch everyone. Lines snake around a block long before the doors open. Year-round beds at places like Kara's and the Salvation Army fill in minutes, while housing families first scrambles to protect parents with kids. Volunteers race to set up cots and hand out blankets, yet still have to say no when space runs out. All told, about 160 emergency beds exist on a bitter night in 2025, and that sounds fine until you realize more than 200 people need them. Every shortfall means real human beings stuck outside fighting wind and rain. Thank goodness for the warriors on the front line. Homeward gathers data and links services acting like glue for the entire region. Their dashboards reveal trends that politicians ignore. Kara's runs a 75-bed shelter plus a furniture bank, so families can start fresh after crisis hits. Home Again finds emergency rooms and long-term housing, especially for veterans and parents. Daily Planet dishes out meals and medical care on the curb, so the street wounded are not forgotten. Even with federal funds, local gifts, and raw grit, these groups are shouting for help in 2025 because need is sprinting ahead of supply. Hit pause with me for a mind test. Picture Churchill on a chilly night and an older man curled on a stoop holding a cardboard plea. Would you share food, call the hotline, or walk away in silence? Drop your honest answer in the comments, because this question stings my heart every time it flashes before my eyes. This is more than travel content. It is story with soul. We are not here to feature the Capitol Dome or brag about trendy meals in Carytown. We are lifting the curtain on lives many visitors never notice and letting their voices guide us. Richmond 2025 demands attention, and we will give it the respect it deserves. Meet James the veteran. He is 58 with a gravel voice and a grin that flickers like a lighter. Company downsizing stole his warehouse job in 2024. His savings vanished, and his landlord chased full rent without mercy. Now he sleeps near the James River, clutching a worn duffel that once marched through a war zone. He waits for a spot in the veteran's shelter, though the line crawls for months, and he told me, "I serve my country, but now I'm fighting to survive my own city." James is not alone, and his struggle shows promises that broke into pieces. Next comes Sarah, the single mom. She is 34, raising two bright kids who carry school books from one temporary bed to another. A surprise car repair drained every dollar, and the eviction notice followed in January 2025. She spent her last $200 on a motel, then found rescue at Home Again, where a family room finally opened. Her voice shook as she whispered, "I just want them to have a home again," and her eyes filled with fear and devotion. Her journey proves how quickly life unravels when the budget is razor thin. The elephant in the room is housing, and it towers higher each month. Vacancy hovers near 4%, so apartments vanish before listings dry. Shiny condos bloom along the river for young professionals, yet low-income families are locked out. A tiny studio in Scott's Addition can cost $1,600 in public housing queue stretch for years. Revitalization programs try hard, but money is tight, and for every unit finished, 3 new renters appear. For many, the climb is simply too steep. Why has the unsheltered spike erupted right now? Pandemic shields are gone, the eviction freeze and extra jobless checks ended 2 years ago, and the ground fell out from under thousands. Homeward logged a 20% jump in 2024 and 2025 is on the same brutal path. Mental illness and addiction make up another layer. About 1/3 of the homeless crowd carries a diagnosis, yet treatment slots are scarce. Hardship feeds these struggles, and the struggles feed hardship in an endless whirl. Take a walking tour in your mind. Monroe Park turns into a village of tents at night. Travel north side and abandoned lots bristle with blue tarps rippling in the wind. Stroll the Belle Isle where smooth rocks invite hikers while sleeping bags hide in the brush. Each scene shouts the same warning: Richmond's crisis is no longer a secret, it is right out in the open. Richmond in 2025 is stunning, but it's also struggling. This isn't the city you see in glossy brochures. This is the real Richmond, where beauty and heartbreak walk the same streets. Zoom out and the picture gets even bigger and darker. Richmond's crisis is just one thread in a massive national unraveling. In Canada, the homeless rate has climbed to nearly 8 out of every 10,000 people. It's not the worst, but it's rising fast. And across the US, the numbers are even more chilling. Back in 2023, America hit a heartbreaking milestone. 653,000 people homeless in just one night. And 2025, it's heading in the same direction. Same problems everywhere. Too few homes, wages too low, broken systems. In Richmond, 46% of the population is black, but they make up 60% of the homeless. That's not a coincidence. It's a nationwide warning sign. This isn't just Richmond's story. It's America's wake-up call. So what's actually being done about it? In 2025, Richmond's leaders are scrambling to keep up. The city is planning a 24-hour shelter with a price tag of 5.7 million Canadian dollars to finally replace the patchwork options it has now. Meanwhile, Canada's Housing Trust Fund is pushing hard for $100 million across the state, and Richmond's hoping to get a slice of it. Some progress is happening, like Cool Lane Commons in Henrico, which opened late last year. It's got 86 units of supportive housing with on-site services and affordable rent. But progress moves at a snail's pace. Advocates are saying we don't need 500 new units in 5 years. We need them right now. It's a fight against red tape, limited money, and time slipping away. If you could fix just one thing, housing, healthcare, jobs, where would you start? There's no easy answer, but I want to hear what your gut says. Drop it in the comments. Let's figure this out together. This is more than a travel documentary. Global Homeless News doesn't just film murals or highlight hip breweries. We walk the alleyways. We talk to the people. We ask why. Through this lens, Richmond becomes more than a place. It becomes a feeling. It's a city caught in the middle. History on one side, hardship on the other. Real travel challenges you to go deeper, to look past the shine and connect with people's lives. And in 2025, Richmond's story is unforgettable. Behind every number is a person, and the cost of homelessness is huge. On cold nights, it's frostbite. In summer, it's heat stroke. Illnesses go untreated. Depression sets in. People give up. Studies show chronic homelessness more than doubles depression rates. And the financial cost. Each person who stays unhoused for a year can cost taxpayers 40,000 Canadian dollars in emergency room visits, police calls, and jail stays. Richmond feels that burden every day, but the solutions? They lag behind. This toll isn't theoretical. You can see it in every tired face on Broad Street. But even in the darkest nights, some lights keep shining. Commonwealth Catholic Charities hands out water and blankets every week. Eden Village of Richmond is fundraising to build a 20-unit tiny home village by 2026. Churches like St. Peter's open their doors when the temperature drops, and volunteers at Feed More dish out 300 meals a day. hot food with warm smiles. These efforts aren't the fix, but they're a lifeline. They prove Richmond has heart. This city doesn't give up, even when the odds are stacked sky high. And the weather? It's brutal. March 2025 might be mild, but winter still looms large. Just last December, a bitter cold snap dragged temperatures down to 15 degrees. Shelters were overrun. People froze outside. And then summer swings back with storms and flash floods. Tents get soaked. Possessions get swept away. Climate change is turning up the heat, literally. And the people without homes feel it the most. In 2025, the weather forecast isn't just small talk. It's a life or death warning. Now let's talk about the most heartbreaking part. Kids. Around 15% of Richmond's homeless population is under 18. That's over 100 children on any given night. Some are with their parents in shelters. Others are alone, couch surfing, sleeping in garages, or worse. Richmond public schools do what they can. Free meals, bus passes, but it's not enough. One girl, 16-year-old Mia, told me she's been sleeping in a friend's garage ever since her mom lost their apartment. She said, "I just want to graduate." These kids are the invisible faces of this crisis, and their futures are hanging by a thread. After everything we've seen, what do you think is behind Richmond's crisis? Is it bad policy, a broken housing system, or something even deeper? I want to know what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm dying to read them. So where is this all going? What's next for Richmond? If nothing changes, the homeless count could pass 800 by the end of this year. Advocates are pushing for 1,000 new affordable units by 2030. But without money, that dream stays on paper. And Richmond's budget is torn. Roads, schools, and housing all fighting for attention. Still, there's hope. Richmond has grit. It has people who care. It has a history of bouncing back. This isn't the end of the story. It's just a turning point. And what happens next depends on what we do now. Thank you for sticking with me through this deep, honest look at Richmond's homeless crisis in 2025. This wasn't a fluffy, feel-good travel video. It was real, it was raw, and maybe it was uncomfortable. But that's exactly why global homeless news exists, to show the world as it really is. If this video moved you, send it to someone you know. Let's keep this conversation going. Until next time, stay curious, stay compassionate, and I'll see you on the next adventure.